Chapter 12, Surprises in Shadow. After Valix's unexpected arrival in Zeradun, you manage to force her back into the Shadow Realm and seal the rift. With you and your friends on the wrong side. Looks like you failed again, Valix. Failed! There are no rifts here to ease your way to opening a portal, Rain. You're trapped with me.
Big words from someone who's outnumbered 5 to 1.
We all know your tricks, Princess. You haven't even begun to know my tricks, Daywalker. Large panther made of shadow steps up beside her. Glowing blue runes pulse in its obsidian fur. Oh, you're pretty. I want to pet you. Where the hells did that thing come from? She whistles sharply, and both she and her panther spring at you. Bind them. Get back. A glowing orb of light expands between your palms until it surrounds you. Their attacks go wide as the panther recoils and Valix throws her arms up in front of her eyes. A valiant attempt, but foolish. She lashes out with a blast of shadow magic. Tyrell meets it with a fireball, both fizzling out as they collide. We've got to get in closer. She can't use her magic. Mal darts forward, slicing at her with a dagger, only for her to block it with a spin of her glaive. Imtora is right behind you. Hand axes out, but the instant she gets close to Valix, the panther circles around a strike at her back.
This isn't working.
We need to deal with the panther. Then she won't have anyone watching her back. Tyrell, keep her distracted. The rest of you, with me. Storm of light issues from Tyrell's hands, raining down on Valix. She takes cover as the shadow cat runs for him. Bad kitty. You and your friends block the way surrounding the creature. Strike it with boulder form, overwhelm its sense of smell. Why not? You pull out one of Uster's alchemy bombs from your satchel, toss it at the panther's front paws. The green powdery fog rises all around it, and the panther starts to cough and retch as the horrid smell fills its lungs. Don't like that, do you?
Oh, it's like week old fish that's been sitting in the sun.
Can't argue with the results, though. Poor kitty will never want fish ever again. The panther arches its back in alarm and then flees, vanishing into the dark desert. How dare you! Valix lets out a cry of rage and charges glaive drawn, only for Imtura to catch the blade with one of her own axes.
I don't think so.
Your whole party moves in sync, going after her all at once. Every strike drives her back, keeping her on her defensiveness. Give it up. Magic starts to pull in her hands, but Tyrell is already on her, locking his light-wreathed sword around her glaive.
Sweep the leg!
Take this. Your staff flashes silver, cutting a shining arc through the air as it smashes into the backs of her knees. She buckles, hitting the ground hard. The tips of your staff glows, and vines snake out from the ground to trap her limbs. She struggles to shake them off, their grip leaving dark purple bruises across her skin. That's it! Tendrils of shadow magic burst from her, wrapping around you and your friends, just like they did when you first fought her.
Damn it.
Not this again. This is stronger, like the very air is empowering it. You can't defeat me, especially here. This is my world, Rain. You remember the dwarven ember the Cherta gave you and its magical, unquenchable fire. We'll see about that. Dwarven ember, use it. You pull out the glowing redstone and smash it in your hand. It immediately catches fire, and you hurl it at Valix. Fire's at the bit. Her defensive words cut off as her sleeves go up in flames. She dashes at the fire, magic bursting from her fingertips, but it's a futile effort. While the flames don't burn through her armor, the fire creeps down her arm, charring her flesh. You'll pay for that! Gray smoke curls around her fingers as she surveys each of you in turn. Let's see, who's first? Panic grips you as her eyes settle on Nia. She's already on her knees, clutching her head, and you realize you haven't seen her the whole time you've been fighting. I can't. Nia, look out. She jerks up in surprise, covering herself in an orb of light as Valix throws at her hand. Not this time, Daywalker. She snaps her fingers, and her barrier shatters like glass, the impact sending her flying into a nearby tree. Nia lets out no more groans after the painful sound. She only lies still, unmoving. Nia. Then, in a move so fast she almost seems like a blur, Valix darts to your side and wrenches your arm behind your back. If you don't want me to kill more of them, surrender. Never. You adjust your stance, leaning into the lock so you can turn your arm and wrench yourself free. You do not get to win. You spin to face her, cracking your elbow against her temple. She snarls, grabbing at you again. Enough! You whip around to see Aeneas and a bolt of dark magic circling Valix like a striking serpent. The shadow twists into a chain that coils around her wrist, then lashes out and wraps around yours. Nia, what are you doing? You feel a tether form, binding you to each other, before the chain disappears, leaving only a strange hum in its wake. You think your paltry magic will stop me? She whips her glaive around to strike you, and despite your close proximity, you feel the chain pull taut. The invisible storm at your wrist flares to life, and she falls to her knees, clutching her head in agony. Nia's voice is flat, almost bored as she speaks. I've bound her to you. If she tries to run or betray us, she'll suffer, like she has never suffered before. Now she has no chance but to help us. I'm sorry. What? No way. No. I never thought I'd see this. What the hell's happened to Nia? Oh no, Tyrell's gonna get really triggered. It seems the Dreadlord has possessed her again. That doesn't make any sense. We saw Rain destroy him. At least one of you can still think straight.
You won't take her from us. Not again. Mentora raises her axes and charges. You barely have time to throw yourself between her and Nia.
Wait. Rain, get out of the way. We must deal with this. She's not possessed. It's just lingering magic left over from the Dreadlord. Being in the Shadow Realm triggers it. But it's still her, I promise. Wait, you knew about this and didn't tell us? It was Nia's secret to share. And she asked me not to tell anyone.
If Nia's in danger, it's everyone's business.
I'm not in danger. I'm the one who saved you. We don't know what the Shadow is doing to you, Nia. If Rain has told us, we have been able to help. I don't need your help. The Dwarven Elder was right. I need to stop fighting the Shadow in me. I don't think this is what he meant. And how would you know, Tyrell? Everything you supposedly knew about magic was based on a lie. Nia. I'm stronger like this, so this is how I'm going to stay. There was nothing wrong with the way you were. They lied to you, priestess. You were puny, insignificant before. You're hardly any better now. You are not helping. Did you expect me to? Nia, you're already strong. Don't patronize me, Rain. I know you all worry about me. You think I can't handle myself, so you go out of your way to protect me. Now, you don't have to.
I mean, that's not entirely true. You've handled yourself to the best of your abilities. There are different kinds of strength, Nia.
Says the woman who hits things all day.
Yeah, she's not wrong.
Nia, back off. No, you back off. I'm making my own choices now.
You exchange an uneasy look with the others, but Nia has already shouldered her pack.
Never thought I'd see this either. Nia has joined the party? Okay. I mean, she kind of looks cool, but... It's then that the Watcher's voice rings out in your head as though he's waiting for your conversation to end. Rain, you're exactly where you need to be. The next reef can only be accessed through the Shadow Realm. It's at the peak of a mighty mountain, Shroud Watch, one that has long since been destroyed in the Light Realm. You must hurry. Wait, I wanted to ask you about the dwarves. You said they were corrupted, but they were just using light and shadow together. I will do what I can to answer your questions once the world is safe, but every moment you waste, the Ash Empire gets closer to their goal. You're about to insist, but he's gone. Left with only silence in your head, you sigh and turn back to the others. Well, I know where the next rift is. It's at the top of the mountain called Shroud Watch. I bet Valix can lead us there. Or she'll lead us into a trap. We cannot trust her. Well, we can't, but we can search her pockets. Right there with you. Mal saunters over to Valix, who glares at him. So what does it take to join the Ashen Army anyways? Requirements, tests... Leave me alone, tiny man. What's the pay like? As he keeps her attention, you slip your hand into her pocket and find a small, hidden blade. Now, what were you gonna do with this? She glowers at you. I have several hundred ideas. It was so much easier to deal with you when you were asleep. You mean when you were torturing me? What? Why would I torture you when you were asleep? How would that get me anything? All I needed was your blood. Listening to you talk for a fortnight would have been a torture for me. In that space between one breath and another, Mal appears behind her back, one strong arm across her shoulders and a dagger across her stomach. Kit, please let me kill her. No, Mal, wait. What do you mean a fortnight? Kate said... That's how long I had you, 14 days. It doesn't matter how long it was. She took you. She hurt you. We don't need her. There's something here neither of you quite know how to articulate. An apology, maybe? And a promise to never let this happen again? You place your hand gently on the hilt of his dagger. Mal's alright. Killing her won't fix anything, and having her around could be useful. You're better than me, kid. In more ways than one. He releases her with a shove, and she glares daggers at him but says nothing. If we want to get to this Shroud Watch quickly, we need to find a village and acquire some mounts. You're right. The longer we're here in the Shadow Realm, the easier it will be for the Ash Empire to find us. Once my mother realizes you are here, there will be no escape. She'll hunt you down and tear you apart. That's cute. Valix sputters. No, it is cute. Cute! I am not cute. I am your death. No, you're cute. Oh, who's an adorable little murder princess? As fun as taunting Valix is, we should get moving. Judging by the stars, heading north is probably our best bet. Tora gestures at the stars glittering above you. The sky is just like ours in the Light Realm. Assuming the landscape is similar too, there should be a village there. I've never been there, but I remember seeing it on a map. But what if the landscape's different? Won't we get lost? Not at all. A sailor can never be truly lost when she has the stars. It's called wayfinding. I could show you how to do it if you'd like. It's not just for orcs. Elite skill. You and Tora walk ahead of the rest of the group, finding a bit of privacy in the darkness, even as you lead them. Okay, first things first. You have to know the layout of the stars. All of them? Yes and no. And don't sound so horrified. That's just a lot to memorize. Trust me, you'll be glad you did the first time you get hopelessly lost. She gestures between the night sky and the earth. The stars' positions in the sky tell you the time of night, but their relation to one another, and the earth, that gives you direction. So you see how close they are to the horizon and calculate from there? See, you're already picking it up, Landrat. She steps up behind you, lifting your hand, holding it up to the sky.
You can see your hand as a constant measure. You keep your thumb level with the horizon and line your fingers up with the star.
You tilt your hand to gauge the distance between the bright point of the light where the jagged mountains swallow the sky.
It's a lot to keep track of, but taking note of specific constellations helps.
Do the orcs use the same constellations as the elves?
We use some of them, but the crab, sunken galleon, and the squall are all ours.
Tell me about the sunken galleon.
The ship is said to be the largest ever sunk by the Stormbringer.
The Stormbringer?
An orc mage who could conjure storms large and powerful enough to swamp entire islands.
Are there many mages among the orcs?
Nah, they're rare, but the ones we do have are powerful. They appeal directly to the elements to empower their spells.
She gestures to the sky.
The sunken galleon is there to remind us not only of our history, but of what the elements can do if you ask.
That's so cool.
I know, right? Let's see. Here's the other thing. You can't tell where you are by stars alone. You need a frame of reference. You need to know where you've come and where you're going.
And how do I do that?
By keeping track of how long and how fast you've been traveling, land or sea, that's the way. You know how the stars move across the sky throughout the night, traveling from one horizon to the opposite?
I guess. I never really thought about it.
Well, you can use that to keep track of time the same way I showed you how to find the direction. You pick a star, track it as it moves. It depends on the hand, but for me, it takes about 2 hours to go from one knuckle to the next.
And what about the distance?
When you're on a boat, you see how long it takes the water to travel from the bow to the stern. On land, you can count how many steps you take over the course of 10 seconds.
This all seems like it's pretty easy to mess up.
That's why you look for landmarks during the day. That'll help you stay on the correct course.
Like the sun?
Another star.
I like to keep things simple.
The sun's great for figuring out the direction. If it's low in the sky, you instantly know east and west. But what if it's overcast or the middle of the day?
Oh, huh.
Then you use features on the ground like rivers or mountains or islands if you're out at sea.
And if you're on the ground, you use the shadow cast by like trees and whatnot.
You'll need them all the time depending on the circumstances.
Where did you learn all this?
My mother taught me, back when I was so small that when I looked up, it seemed like the whole world had fallen away. It was just me and her and the moon and the skies.
She tilts her head back and gazes up in the indigo velvet of the night sky.
Before I was the hair, and before all she cared about.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. This is one of the happier memories I have of her. Even so, my mother is still my mother. Once I had the basics down, it was trial by ocean.
What did that look like?
She made me navigate across the open sea to an island and then back to flotilla without her help.
God, how old were you?
9. Not a lot of kids could have handled that, orc or no.
But you did.
Damn right. And now, so will you. Tell me something about our current position.
Well... See that mountain range? We've been keeping them to our right, so as long as they stay there, we'll be heading north. He smiles proudly and thumps you on the back.
I knew you had it in you, land rat. Pretty sure you could get us to the village all on your own.
I wouldn't count on that. Besides, I wouldn't have had the first idea where to go if you hadn't have shown me. You're truly special, one of the best friends, a really good teacher.
Both.
She pauses and looks at you, a slow smile curving her lips.
How special.
You're strong, passionate, beautiful, and funny to boot.
I never imagined I would ever meet someone like you, but now it feels inevitable.
You're saying we were destined for each other? Gotta say, I like the sound of that.
She takes a deep breath and releases it on a sigh.
It really is beautiful out here. It's almost a shame we don't get to truly enjoy it.
Imtora, let me steal a kiss first.
First rule of piracy.
She steps closer and you cradle her jaw between your hands.
You can't steal what's freely given.
Your lips meet, a gentle touch that sparks something deeper than hunger. It's not enough. You press closer, harder. You want to taste her, to lose yourself in her embrace. Imtora. Her tusks slide along your lip, the sweet sting of a bite, sending waves of want rolling through you.
I love it when you say my name like that.
Your roving hands tug at her clothing, caressing every inch of her, struggling to contain your groans and sighs. She melts into your arms with a sigh of her own, your chest rising and falling as one. Then she pulls away gently, her lips still only a breath from yours.
Rain.
You can feel the air crackling between you, the energy of possibility like the curl of the surf just before it rocks.
If we don't go now,
I know we'll be rolling around in the dirt. She takes your hand before the two of you slow your pace, letting the others catch up. Yay, we got our fourth elite skill. Now can we finish the combat tree? I guess we'll find out. Or may I say skill tree. A village appears on the horizon just as the sun rises, but as you grow closer, something about it seems eerily familiar. Smithy. Wait, this looks like Riverbend. As you get closer, you realize that it may look like Riverbend, but this version is not prosperous, thriving village you grew up in. We must be alert. It may look like your village, but this is the realm of shadow. Who knows what fell creatures may lurk here? Let's wait until I scout ahead. I'll be fast. You stick to the shadows, creeping from corner to corner until you survey the whole street. Seeing no sign of trouble, you head back to the others. It's safe. Depressing, but safe. It reminds me a bit of the slums back in White Tower. You edge around a corner, spot the outline of a cramped and run-down stable, a few horses standing in the pen outside.
Jackpot.
Then let's take the horses and get out of here. You slip out of the alley. Just as you get close to the horses, a voice startles you. Visitors, Mama, Papa, come quickly. You all whirl around to see a strange-looking child. They turn to the head of the house, and you rush to stop them, but Valak steps in front of you. You will not harm this child. Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. You're an idiot. Why do you think we're gonna harm a child? How should I know what you're capable of? You came to this village with ill intent. These people are Ashen. I will protect them. How did we come with ill intent? You're an idiot. You tense as you see two even stranger-looking adults rush out from a nearby house. You expect anger and wariness, but instead their eyes light up in welcome.
Oh, it's good to see travelers again. It has been too long.
What has brought you to Iron Breach? We're just traveling through. We're trying to get to Shroud Watch. Oh, but that's so far. We were hoping we could find some horses here.
Oh, as you can see, we have a few. We'd be happy to trade for them, though I admit they have seen better days.
You dig quickly through your things, finding a few items that you could live without to offer up as trade. I have this thinly woven blanket, a very well-crafted wineskin full of wine, and these leather gloves. Would that do? But these are so fine. We couldn't possibly take them all. You can and you will.
You look over at Valak, surprised, but she refuses to meet your gaze. Then at least come and join us at our table. We were just sitting down for breakfast.
As the couple heads out of the stable, Tyrell stops you with a hand on your shoulder. I'm not sure this is wise. You think it's a trap?
I don't know. Normally I don't trust anyone, but they seem nice to me.
They're too nice. They're probably some sort of cult planning to sacrifice us to the Ash Empire or something.
I think they're being genuine. Truly I do, and admit it. If you met them in the light realm, you wouldn't doubt their sincerity. Tyrell and Imtura have the grace to look abashed. You're right, Rain. We shouldn't judge them just because of where they live. It's true. You head into the Ashen home, and all crowd around the family's scratched and worn dining table as they hand out bowls of porridge. Oh, but where are our manners? I'm Madern, and this is my husband Mithar, and our child Eliana.
I apologize that the offerings are so meager. The farming has been rough these past few years.
I'm Rain, and these are my friends, and there's no need to apologize. We're grateful for whatever you have to offer. It's really good. Eliana digs into her meal as do the rest of you. Everyone except for Valix, who's studying her surroundings with her brow furrowed. Why does your lord not help you? If the harvests have been bad, it is his responsibility to make sure you have what you need. We have not seen our lord in many years. Valix frowns at that, her expression stormy. So, have the three of you always lived in Iron Beach? Yes, we were all born and raised here. It doesn't look like much, but it has always been home.
Just be careful on your journey. Plenty of monsters out there. And avoid the riverbed outside of town. It's prone to flash floods.
But Dad, it's the best place to play. Eliana, how many times must we tell you to stay away from that place? Eliana, it's important to listen to your parents. Oh. See? Even these travelers know better than to mess with a river that floods. But I'm always careful. As you take another bite, you realize that neither Dern nor Mithar are eating. But before you can grow worried, Mal leans in close. The food is fine. They just don't have enough to feed themselves, too. You immediately push her bowl towards Adern. Here, please, let us share. I would never have accepted this if I knew you had so little.
You should have said something. If there was not enough for all of us to eat, then none of us should.
Please do not worry. We are happy to host you, I promise. She sounds so heartbroken that you pull your bowl back, only for Valix to abruptly push her nearly full one forward. I am more than satiated, and it won't do to have my mother's citizens starving.
Your mother's?
Abruptly, Adern and Mithar scramble to their feet. Adern pulls Eliana up too, and all three bow. Your Highness, we did not recognize you. We never thought you would be... Sit. I do not need to be treated differently because of my station, but if you insist on offering obedience, then eat. All three sit back down, the adults dividing up the food Valix gave them, and beginning to eat. You lean closer to her. That was actually decent. Her jaw tightens as she can imagine no greater insult. Your opinion of me could not matter less. I'm trying to give you a compliment. There's nothing complimentary in remarking that I know my duty to my mother's people. It would be insulting to imply it would be otherwise. As the meal finishes up, you notice a beautiful and wicked chain whip displayed proudly on the wall. Eliana sits up with excitement, eyes fixed on Valix with awe. Do you know about my great-grandfather Cardu, Princess? I do. General Cardu was legendary. He was one of my mother's fiercest warriors until he retired. The whip has not been used since. There aren't any fighters in the family or in the village, for that matter. You mean you have no one here to defend you? That explains a lot. Both parents cast a wary look at Valix. She's the one who answers. They have likely all been conscripted into the army.
You know, you look a lot like as if you face danger all the time, Rain. Would you like to take the weapon with you?
But it's a heirloom.
We've nearly lost the whip to raiders more than once now. I'm sure Grandfather would rather see it go to an adventure like you.
This
is a legendary weapon. Diamond choice. Mythar takes the whip down from the wall and hands it to you. It's even more beautiful up close.
A fine weapon and wasted here. I'll be pleased to think of it being appreciated as it deserves.
You hang the chain whip on your belt with a smile of gratitude. Oh, it's there. It went from being shiny to just there. I will be sure to use it with your grandfather's memory in mind. Oh, so we don't get another tablet, it goes above the thing. Oh. So we're missing, then, just 2 fragments of the tablet, then. You got the Whip of Cardu. When breakfast is over, the family leads you back outside, where you take the dilapidated village once more. You've been so kind to us, surely there's something we can do to repay you. No, your trades were more than enough. Your guests, we could never put guests to work. They're taking your horses and ate all your food. You should accept their help.
It would hardly be proper to refuse the princess's advice, my dear. There's always plenty of work to do, and too few hands.
You follow Mythar to the center of the square, where Antora quickly helps him assess the needed chores.
While you get started patching roofs, Tyrell will check out the vegetable garden, see if you can figure out why the plants are struggling. I'll shore up the fence in the stables. The cleaning. Nia, can you?
Not interested.
Nia walks off and Antora sighs as she turns to you. Take your pick, Rain. There's a broken window that needs fixing, and some herbs to plant. Or you can haul water, I guess.
I'll plant herbs. We can do it together. You follow Eliana to a planter box in front of their house, where you dig little holes into the soil for seeds. If there's one thing I know, it's that plants need water. Time to make a little rain. Grabbing an old dented water can, you give the seeds a healthy drink before playfully dipping some water on, or dripping some on Eliana. They giggle as they bow you away. I'm not plants. As you finish up your work, Tyrell approaches you, face tense with concern. Rain, I think you should see this. You follow him to a little house off the side of the stables, where Adern is tending to a sickly Ashen. I told you I'm fine, just need some rest. Adern places a damp rag on her forehead and then joins you and Tyrell in the doorway. What's wrong with her? She has light sickness. She used to work at our Lord's manor, where she fell ill. He dismissed her. Our Lord may have had something from the light realm there. Being exposed to it can drain a person. While my healing knowledge is meager, she hasn't been getting any worse since she came here. That's the best we can hope for. Tara pulls you gently out of the house, and the two of you stop a few steps away. This proves that Elder Radomir said. Light magic draws on your life force. I bet that's what happened, or what made her so weak. Light magic is only supposed to do that if a person is using it, but perhaps those born in the Shadow Realm are more sensitive to its effects. You feel a slight tug on your chain, tying you to Valix, and you look up to find her helping the villagers with a broken cart. Though her expression remains cool and distant, she stops whenever one approaches and listens intently. I thought all she cared about was killing me and taking over the Light Realm, but these people seem to hardly... well, they really matter to her. All of this is a bit strange. Despite their desperate situation, they're open and even eager to offer up what little they have. I've experienced many gracious forms of Morellian hospitality in my travels. The most humble homes were almost always the kindest. But finding this in the Shadow Realm, they're good people, just good people trying to get by in a really bad situation. A situation I fear the old gods may have caused. We don't know that, Tyrell. Not yet, but if they divided magic, how are they not culpable for these poor people suffering? Maybe they didn't know it would happen. Magic is a really complicated thing. How are they supposed to predict the cost?
Well, if they didn't know the impact it could have had, then they shouldn't have done it.
The elves wouldn't be the first people who had to clean up their ancestors' messes. But I know we'll figure it out together.
I just wish we had more time to help them right now.
As he speaks, Nia strides towards you, looking impatient. I mean, in a way we do, but... yeah, I see what he's getting at.
Are you done wasting your time helping these people you hardly even know?
Nia, you're being an ass.
What?
Good, I hope that threw you off balance, because you are. You heard me. Rain. No, the Nia I know would want to know if she's hurting people.
I don't care, I'm still right.
She storms off, and you spot Mal across the way, staring up at a roof. As you go to join him, Valix falls in behind you. Can I help you? You could have the priestess release me from this magic so I can rend your limbs from your body. Oh god, will you stop for 1 minute? You roll your eyes and turn back towards Mal. You're glaring at the roof like it owes you money. There's a hole up there that needs patched. I was gonna climb up, but the pitch of the roof is a little steep. Since when has that ever stopped you?
Since I started doing stupid things that get everyone else hurt. For all we know, that's why Nia started acting this way.
Mal,
the last thing you need is me falling off a roof and breaking a leg.
This is your chance to help Mal patch the roof, talk through the struggles he's having, and get a healing item. Let us help. He's over the house in which is pretty rough condition, then gesture to Valix. The door's looking like it's about to fall off the hinges. Why don't you repair it while Mal and I handle the roof? The stain drips from every pore as she stares you down. Why would I even consider following your orders? Because... you know what? Why not? You think I'm good looking?
Excuse me?
Yep, it's true. If it wasn't, you wouldn't be so flustered right now.
I'm not flustered, I'm irritated.
You shrug. They're both strong feelings, and you've got them for me.
No.
She stares at you just long enough to prove your point, and stomps off towards the door.
See? Was that so hard?
I hate you people. No, you love us. Come on, let's get up there and get this done. You and Mal grab supplies and climb up onto the roof. You wind up sitting near the top, keeping a careful hold on the back of Mal's improvised harness as he works to patch the hole. We're up pretty high up.
Better hang on to me then, Kit.
Just try and warn me if you're gonna slip.
Where's the fun in that?
He smooths the tar with the efficiency and confidence that suggests he's done this before. Where do you learn to do this kind of stuff anyway? Surely it wasn't from an honest job. He slants a look back at you and shrugs.
I'm a jack-of-all-trades kind of guy. It's good to know how to do things. You never know what could come in handy.
Uh-huh. What's the real reason?
Nothing gets past you, does it? Orphanage roof leaked like a sieve when it rained. If I hadn't fixed it, my sister and I would have been sleeping in puddles.
Gods, I'm sorry.
You're an orphan too. Didn't you have to handle things like that back at home?
Actually, I did a lot of manual labor. I fixed roofs, mucked stalls, planted crops, raised barns, foaled the horses.
Stop. I'm getting tired just listening to that list of chores. This is why I avoid farms like the plague.
It wasn't so bad. Get me busy. Anyway, the animals are cute when they're not smelly. He goes back to his task, and you both sit in comfortable silence, listening to the low rumble of thunder in the distance. He suddenly stops to look at you.
When we got here, you said this place looked worse than the slums in White Tower. To be honest, it kind of reminds me of them too.
It sounds like this place oddly feels like home to both of us, just in different ways.
I'm glad we can help them. But before someone with bad intentions shows up and takes advantage of them. He finishes up the repair, hammering the last of the materials into place. You haul him up to join you, and the two of you gaze out over the town. Is that what you're trying to do by opening your orphanage, protect all those kids? Of course. I want to protect them the same way I protect you and the rest of our party. You know how much we all appreciate having you watch our backs. But it's not your sole responsibility to keep everyone safe, especially when it's at the expense of yourself. His shoulders stiffen and he turns towards you slightly. You're talking about what happened in the crypts. You could have died. I know, but well, I'm not a mage or a priest or a warrior, I'm a thief, right? I figure my skills are the least necessary for the group to survive. Well, that's complete and utter BS. Mal, if there was a way I could save you all, make sure you made it out of there, that was gonna matter to me. So, I took the chance. That's not how this works. We stand together or we fall, that's it, end of story. I don't want to drag the rest of you down with me. Then don't throw yourself into danger alone. You reach for his hand. You're a valuable member of this team just like everyone else, and a self-sacrifice isn't always the answer. Just look at this place. Iron Breach? What's that got to do with... Sure, it would be easier for us to just... if you were the only one doing the work, but so much less would get done. We're a team, we work together and support one another. That's good for everyone in the end. Maybe you're right. It's just... it's so hard when you were gone, Rain. Everyone was falling apart, and it felt like I was trying to hold them together on my own. For a moment, he seems so lost, as if the memory alone is desolate he can't overcome. Mel... you did hold them together. Even now, you're the one keeping everyone upright. You might not be able to heal them or lift a tomb door over your head, but you help in your own way, and everyone else sees that too, I promise. They don't need to, really. I'd rather they... not notice how much you care about them? Well, when you put it that way. We all care about you too, there's nothing wrong with that. Please promise me that you're going to do what's best to stick around, or at least let us come with you when you throw yourself into danger. For you, kid. I think I can manage that. Are you two done up there yet? No, sweetie, we'll be down in a minute. Fitting last boarding place, the two of you climb down from the roof together, where the owner of the home greets you in Valix. Can't thank you enough. It would have taken my husband a month to get it all fixed. Please, have a biscuit for your trouble. It won't stitch up any wounds, but it'll help, it'll keep you on your feet if you find yourself hurt. He holds up a wrapped biscuit proudly. My grandmother used to cook for the laborers in the capital. They didn't always have time for lunch, but her biscuits got them through the day. Ashen biscuit. Take it. Have a biscuit. Thank you for your generosity. Yeah, you're more than welcome. You tuck the biscuit into your bag for later. I think that's about as everything Toro wanted us to do. Yes, we've earned a bit of celebration. I'll pass on that. You roll your eyes as Valak stalks off to the other side of the square to stand by herself. Mel, how about we go somewhere to kiss? He grins as you nudge him into the tiny alleyway, so small your bodies are already touching. Do your worst, kid. I'll love every second of it. You tangle your fingers in his hair, pull his mouth to yours, your back pressed up against the hard stone of the building. The kiss is electric, both of you moaning as your lips part, and he kisses you deeper. Rain. I like the way that sounds. All breathy and wanty. Oh, I want. His mouth finds yours again, hot and demanding. His hands stroke down your body, trailing fire in their wake. You're both panting when he breaks away, his fingers tight on your thighs as he thumps his head against the wall next to yours. If we don't stop, we're gonna get tossed out of the town for public indecency? We have got to find some time to do this properly.
We will, I promise. After one final kiss to seal the deal, you slip out of the alley and head back into the square. Suddenly the wind whips hard and everything around you goes dark.
Storm coming in. We need to get inside.
In a chaotic rush, everyone races for shelter. But when you arrive at the door of the Ashen family, Adern bursts out frantic.
Eliana's not here.
Peer through the storm. You peer through the growing darkness, searching. After a moment, you catch sight of a movement off towards the river. I see them by the riverbank.
But it could flood any minute now.
You two stay here. We'll get them. Because she didn't listen the first goddamn time. You and the party race up to the river as round, heavy drops of rain begin to fall in moments. You're all soaked, forced to shout over the downpour. This is pointless. We'll never find them in this weather. There. Following Tyrell's finger, you spot Eliana twirling in the rain at the water's edge, oblivious to the wall of water coming towards them. Rain, rain, dancing in the rain, whatever above, water below. There's so many places we can go. Look out! Without thinking, you leap into the riverbed and grab the child, using all your strength to toss them out to the bank of the river. I've got them. Alex catches Eliana and you and a sigh of relief. Then a colossal wave of water smashes in you. Your world becomes a roaring maelstrom of cold darkness.
Rain, no!
I was about to say, this would have been a good chance for a cliffhanger. But where we are. Without further ado, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description of the video. Plenty of things to check out there, ways to support this channel and this community, and also ways to become more a part of this community and family that we have here. With that being said, hopefully you all did enjoy. I thank you very much for watching. And that's pretty much it for me. I really don't have any thoughts here on this video, but perhaps some of you could let me know your thoughts on the video down below. Thanks again for watching. Love your beautiful faces. Catch you all later. Peace out.